alaikum once again.
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil, and
Sister Tisha.
we have a great program for you this evening. And it's great in the sense that we will be paying tribute to one of the all-time greats of our nation.
That's right.
As many of you may have heard, this past week we lost Brother Askia Muhammad, formerly known as Brother Charles 67X, the first registered Muslim editor of the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, and the senior editor of the Final Call newspaper today, the dean, if you will, of the journalistic community in the Nation of Islam. Brother Askia, a real Renaissance man. We'll tell you more about what he did in just a few moments, but we want to welcome you to this wonderful celebration of life and tribute to a great man. So, as always, you know what to do right now. Go on into the chat room and let us know where you're viewing from. Let us know where you're coming from. I see there's my mother-in-law. She says, hey, honey bunny's mom is on.
Hey, mommy.
From freezing Grand Prairie, Texas. It looks like we have two key members of the photo posse from Philadelphia, Brother Errol C. Muhammad and Brother William Muhammad, who's today in Oakland, California. I see Oakland and Philadelphia on the line. There's sister-in-law Patricia Bailey down in Dallas, Texas. Everybody come on in the room. Let us know where you are viewing from so that we can respect you. There's my dear brother Suleiman in San Francisco. Always good to see you on the West Coast, and Brother Kamara across the Bay Bridge in Oakland. There is Brother William in Oakland too. So this is going everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking on K-Mail or something. I'm looking for Big Daddy Saragusa. Anyway, but we talk. He's a DJ in San Francisco. It popped in my head. But I want to make sure that everybody's here welcoming you. We're happy tonight in what could be a period of grief. But we know that for the Muslims, there's no grief for you. For the believers in God, there's no grief for you. I saw you today, Brother Harold, on the lot of the National Center in Chicago. We see you there. Sister Letitia's on with us tonight in St. Louis by way of Baltimore. We're certainly welcome. Brother Windsor put in the chat where you are viewing from. There's Brother William said, dear Brother Noopsy, you can't trust everybody.
You
can't trust everybody in the chat room. You can't. You know what I mean, Tisha?
No.
But tonight is a very, very good night to be here, one with another. Oakland by way of Harlem, from North Carolina, you're on the line. And everybody come on in the room. Let us know who you are, where you're viewing from. We'd like to make sure you know that you're welcome here on Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and
Sister Tisha.
Yes, indeed. So I'm going to throw back to Sister Tisha. She'll give a little bit of the housekeeping, and then we'll have a conversation about our brother. And we have a very, very special guest for you in the second segment of the program. Our brother, all the way from the bustling metropolis of Bloomington, Illinois, one of the great, great musical figures in American music today. He's with us on the program. Don't touch that dial.
That's right.
Until you stay right where you are. Tisha?
All right. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. I want to first thank everybody for signing on, bringing a friend, because I know you brought a friend with you, and then engaging with us in the chat room. We really appreciate that energy that you're bringing. I want to just remind everybody real quick of a little housekeeping rules. What we are trying to do, is grow this platform and get it as big and as far out there as we can. And in order to do that, we need your help. So we ask that you go visit our YouTube page and help us out by hitting that red button, the subscribe button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. Like, share, and subscribe. And then once you're done with that, just mosey on over to Facebook and do the same on the Facebook channel. Nothing But the Truth, Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Help us get on out there. Hey, Brianna.
Brianna's with us.
Help us get on out there. All right, everybody. We appreciate you. All right, back to you, Miller Wap.
We really do. And Brianna's with us, as you said. Hey, Brianna. I can't get my voice to go that high, but Brianna, you're welcome. And certainly we want to welcome everyone's auntie, Sister Landra Muhammad, from out in the desert. She's from Teaneck, New Jersey. And now she's out in Tucson, Arizona.
Wow.
doing great things and building great institutions. Thank you so very much, everyone, for being with us. And as you check in and share with friends, remember, like the program,
Mm-hmm.
share the program, and then get in the comments and engage us and one another. This
Right.
is not some speech. This is a conversation among family and friends. And tonight couldn't be a better occasion for such a conversation to occur.
Yes.
We have, particularly in this area of the country, in the Washington, D.C. area, what they call the DMV, we have lost an institution in the world of journalism, in the world of radio, in the world of music, in the world of photography, in the world of poetry. A man of arts and letters and great, great talent has transitioned. His name is Brother Askia Muhammad. Brother Askia Muhammad is known to many of you as the first Muslim to actually edit the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. Brother Askia is known to many of you as the author of great books of poetry and prose. He's known to you as, and you can please put his picture up when you get ready, dear brother. But Brother Askia is the brother who's known to you as the White House correspondent,
Mm-hmm.
42-year host of the Yardbird Suites edition of the Morning Brew on WPFW in Washington. There you see him seated at the controls in the studios of WPFW. There is so much that we could have learned and have learned from our dear brother Askia over the years. Brother Askia, a real Renaissance man. He meant a lot to a lot of people. I've never met anyone who has done all the things that he has done and is a dear friend of our friend, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And so as we welcome Sister Linda from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and as we welcome Brother Ricardo Muhammad from Atlanta by way of St. Louis, everybody knows Pretty Ricky. We welcome Brother Desmond Defoe Muhammad from Atlanta, Fort Lauderdale, St. Thomas, wherever he's from, back of town, he's here. And we welcome you, my dear brother, for being with us, Brother Desmond. But you see, Brother Askia, you see him on the screen with Denzel Washington. I'm sorry.
For the love of God,
Okay,
Lord.
okay. No, I'm sorry. That's
Oh,
not
Jesus.
Denzel. That's me. That's me. But we're there at WPFW, and he taught me. He taught me to smile my way through life. He taught me to live a very fulfilling life. He taught me not to be afraid to live my own principles and beliefs. He taught me not to be afraid to speak my mind as long as I spoke it respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
He taught me to help find a way to respect other people wherever they were, whoever they said they were. He looked for something in every human being that he could respect, and often he found many things that he could love. And that's the example that we learned from Brother Askia. There you see him holding up a copy of his book, The Autobiography of Charles 67X. And we'll come back to a detail of that cover in just a few moments, because I believe that some of the photographs that you have seen and become familiar to you in your sojourn in the struggle for freedom, like that one, that's called Sunday Morning in Vallejo. Vallejo as in the city in California. That was taken by Brother Askia in 1970 as the Muslim Sisters, the MGT and GCC. That stands for Muslim Girls Training and General Civilization Class, prepared themselves to go to the Sunday meeting to be part of the teaching of Islam to our people in San Francisco. So many great images with which Brother Askia is associated. Now, here's the detail.
Yes.
You see it, Tisha?
Mm-hmm. One of my favorites.
It's nearly, I don't know anyone who doesn't like it. It's the gentle, loving assistance of a brilliant student for the master teacher. And it speaks to me volumes because in this photograph, Minister Farrakhan is attempting, that's Minister Farrakhan on the left and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad on the right. Minister Farrakhan is making sure that the words of his teacher are amplified and projected into the ears of as many persons as possible. And so he lived his life. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has lived his life doing the same thing, making sure that that word is amplified. And how did Brother Askia come into the picture? He came in because he recorded and chronicled and kept records of those events as they transpired. This particular photograph is from Savior's Day 1970
Wow.
at the Richard L. Jones Armory in Chicago. Let me pause here to encourage you as we get ready to talk about this next photograph with Brother Askia. We pause right here to encourage everyone to reach out and touch someone with tonight's program. I don't care if you have to pause for 30 seconds and call somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you have to pause and share the program. If you don't know how to share the program, put it in the comments. We'll tell you how to do it. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because this program brings to our people, regardless of affiliation or religious persuasion or political affiliation, they are all our people.
Yes.
And we deserve to know that a giant has walked among us.
Mm-hmm.
We deserve to know that a person who loved us strove to tell us the truth
Yeah.
professionally and did a darn good job at it. So everybody reach out for someone else and bring them back. All right? Now, I told you that next photograph, if we can put it back up, tech team,
Mm-hmm.
Brother Askia on Fox TV. If you look at the caption under that, can you see it, Tisha? I can't, the letters are.
Yes, let's see. Photographer says he didn't release photos sooner because it would have impacted Obama campaign.
Wow, that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Our brother Askia, who's seen there on Fox News, and by the way, the frequent contributor to network news programs, NBC, CBS, certainly often on PBS, and a regular contributor to NPR programs on National Public Radio, syndicated columnist, so many things he did. But Brother Askia took a photograph, and we'll show that photograph in a moment, but he took a photograph at the Black Caucus meeting, I believe in 2006 or 7, where some friends from Illinois got together, smiled, shook hands, and talked about life in Chicago. But he knew that that photograph could affect the presidential aspirations of Senator Barack Obama. So he held, look at the character of Brother Askia, he held this photograph that you're looking at of Senator Obama with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, members of his family, and the great Reverend Willie Wilson at the right. You see Brother Joshua between the Senator Obama and the minister.
Right.
You see Brother Supreme Captain Mustafa over the senator's right shoulder, and at the senator's right, our dear brother Leonard Farrakhan Muhammad. This photograph could have derailed the presidential campaign of Senator Barack Obama. It could have made people think, after the controversy arose with him and his pastor, the Reverend Jeremiah Wright, there at Trinity United Methodist Church in Chicago, it could have made people think that Barack Obama was wedded to people who are portrayed as religious extremists. Brother Askia knew that this photograph could bring him a payday well into the 6 figures, Tisha.
Yes.
He knew that he could get paid, but he chose to hold the photograph and store it under lock and key, and only released it after it was clear that no more harm could be done to the political career of a president who had served 2 terms and was about to enter life as a post-presidential statesman, but still a beloved figure in Black America. This is the character of the man we are here to celebrate tonight, right. Our brother, Askia Muhammad.
Wow.
Tisha, did you have any recollections of Brother Askia that stood out in your mind?
Well, I've known Brother Askia for just about a little bit over a year. And I first met him in person when he came to our wedding on the campus of Howard University. Mm-hmm. And I was just honored that he was there, that he took the time to come out. You know, he was such a great man, a great person, but he was still so real too. It wasn't like he was untouchable. He was so in touch with us, with the people, with those who he loved and those who he served. And that really stood out to me. I didn't realize how big of a giant. Now he was kind of tall. He was really tall. I did notice that, but I
Uh-huh.
didn't realize how big of a giant as a person that he was. That makes it even more special that he took the time to come out and celebrate with us. He always had a kind word for me from the very beginning. From
Yes,
the
sir.
very beginning, he's just one of those people that if you had the time, you would want to sit and just let them talk. You just listen to what they have to say because he's experienced so much, and he's just full of history. But the good thing about it is that he captured our history too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He
Yes,
captured
ma'am.
our history too, and so that's just amazing. He left us with such a gem, a jewel,
Yes.
our history. He recorded it for us, and he recorded it well. So praise be to Allah for that. He was a great
Yes.
man.
Yes,
Mhm.
indeed. That was Brother Askia on the
Yeah.
right in the two-piece white super sharp outfit. At our wedding, it was an unseasonably warm day during the first week of October. And
Mhm.
meteorologically, it was thought to be the beginning of autumn, but that day the temperature was warm and the sun was bright. And Brother Askia rolled out from his home a few blocks away from the campus and came out sharp on the yard. And as is always the case, Brother Askia knows everybody in DC.
Yes.
So he can't go anywhere without speaking to everyone and having everyone speak to him. And he did a wonderful, wonderful job of just being with us and helping us to share the joy of the day. There's going to be, I don't know, Tisha, if I can tell them now, but maybe I'll tell the audience. And certainly I want to welcome, before I say this, our sister Denise Shabazz is with us tonight. Denise Shabazz Muhammad, Sister Deidre from Huntsville, Alabama. Sister Denise Timmons Lewis, yes, mother-in-law. We already talked about it. She says that was a dynamic individual. We
Yeah.
want to welcome our brother Harold B. Muhammad from Greensboro, North Carolina. He's in Chicago today. And Brother Quadir from Philadelphia, my dear brother, longtime friend. We've been friends so long, he was friends with my pop and friends with me. So
Wow. Yeah.
good to see you, my dear brother from Philadelphia. So there are many, many things that we could do, but we're going to talk more about this tonight in a very unusual dual teaming for Savior's Day. At
Mhm.
9 o'clock, when our program is over, we're going to move over, Tisha and I, to the broadcast airwaves on Blog Talk Radio of Dr. Ava Muhammad to be
Wow.
guest on her program, The Elevated Places.
Yes.
That's going to happen tonight after 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. And so we want everybody, after we conclude, to grab, whatever your cold drink is, your sweet tea, your lemonade, get your plate of tater salad, a couple of them beef ribs, and, come on over some fried fish and thing. And come
All
on,
that? We're
yeah,
grabbing all that?
all that.
Mhm.
Because late at night, that's how we
I
eat.
mean,
It's an
we,
ethnic thing. And then bring it on over to the Dr. Ava show. Ask Dr. Ava, The Elevated Places on Blog Talk Radio. If you don't have the address, how to get on, the flyer is on our page at Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha.
that's right.
Hun, did you have any other thoughts about what you've seen since Brother Askia's passing and the reaction of other people to his passing, to his transition? What has that shown you about the nature of the man?
Well, Brother Askia, his passing confirmed how loved he was
Yes, ma'am.
in several communities. I mean, he's so well known, and that he's been all over national. His passing was all over national news, you know, locally, nationally. It was just, I just didn't know how big of a man he was and how loved he was because he just seemed so real. So that's Brother Askia. But
Uh,
yeah, um, the outpouring of love and respect that everybody is showing and has for him, we are here tonight to celebrate that, to pay tribute to him, to celebrate his life. We're sad that he's gone, of course, but we are overjoyed that he lived, that he was here, that he shared his life with us, that he left something for us all to carry forward. He's touched all of us, whether you know it or not. Once you go in and study who he is and
mhm.
the works he's done, his journalism, his photography, his music, his writings, he's touched you. You may not know it yet, and he's left something there for each and every one of us. And for that, I'm so thankful to Allah, just for his life, just for him, and just he's just great. And he got me to liking that song. I don't even know the name of it, but You better go.
You don't have to. No. Don't sing the song. Listen,
I
listen.
was like, hey, what's that? Hey.
Yeah, we saw you. We saw you on Facebook with the straw for the microphone. We noticed it. Nobody said anything. Everybody was polite.
Oh, he be hating. Oh, he be hating.
The song that you're talking about is called "You Better Go." The artist is Derek Martin,
Derek Martin.
1965. And I know this because I was Brother Askia's co-host on that radio program for 5 years. And he played that song to great effect. And Tisha heard the song and loved it as soon as she heard it.
Yeah, I
And
did.
now he would, I said, now he plays it. But then he would play it for her and dedicate it to her. This is for Sister Tisha. And he would play the dedication in the morning. You Better Go by Derek Martin. If you want to look these songs up, I'm sure somebody's going to put them in the chat.
Yeah,
But
that's
You
a good
Better
one,
Go
y'all.
by Derek Martin. And then the other song that you always liked was Joe Hinton. That was his theme song as he went off the air. It was Joe Hinton's version of a song written by Willie Nelson. And the song is called Ain't It Funny How Time Slips.
Ain't it funny how time? Where is my straw when I need it?
Now, I'm going to say to the tech team, you all have control of the mute button. All right, be willing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And I think that was why Askia loved you, because nobody knows what you're going to do or say next. Nobody ever knows, and it's okay. I love you for that. But I mean, it's just so unusual. But those two songs became Tisha's theme songs. She loves them. She sings them. I heard you singing one tonight while you were cooking dinner, and I was like, okay, she listens to the Yardbird Suites edition of the Morning Brew on WPFW. And just to let you know, that program, and you may see the name of it pop up in the chat again, that program, the Yardbird Suites edition of the Morning Brew on WPFW 89.3 FM in Washington, the mantle of taking that show has fallen on my shoulders. So I need your prayer, everyone.
Yes.
I need your prayers. I need your best wishes. I know that our guest for later in the program, he listens to the program, and he happens to be the music director of this program. So it's one family everywhere that we go and all the time where we're moving. But we want to make sure that we do the things that need to be done. Hey, Newark is on the line with us, and we really appreciate that as well. But today, we are remembering, thinking back to the great legacy and the powerful presence of our dear brother, Askia Muhammad. Askia Muhammad, a great journalist, photographer, poet. I mean, he did a lot of things well, and he did them for the purpose of the resurrection of our people. And so we're very, very glad to hear it. I want to welcome from San Antonio, Texas, Sister Charlene Burton Muhammad and her family. Brother Jihad is with us from Newark, New Jersey. Brother Mike Red Eagle from right here in Washington, D.C. That's our brother, because he is the man who makes it all happen technically at WPFW. Mike, we bow and we salute you, because we know can't nothing happen without you. Okay? Right. So we want to make sure we continue to move forward. Hey, everybody, this is a night of joy, not a night of sadness.
That's right.
Not a night of grief, but a night of joy and gratitude to Allah that we had such a great one among us. For he truly was a great one. Truly a great one.
We know he wrote the book. Charles was 67X.
Yes.
Are we able to? Where can people get that book if they wanted a copy? Do you know?
Yes. What you do is you inbox.
Mm-hmm.
You inbox all of the media presences of this program. Nothing but the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. We will put you in touch with the wholesalers or the retailers of the book. I think it is still available on Amazon, but you can also get it here.
Right. This is an actual gem. This is a jewel, something you want to have in your collection.
There's no doubt.
The pictures alone in it. It's just,
yes, sir. You want to have nothing but the truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. We're on the air now, but I want to make sure you can get that address and ask for the book, buy the book. It's a great addition to your library, and you definitely want to have it. We want to welcome Sister Sandra, and she's telling Tisha to behave, and we agree with that. Thank you, Sister Sandra, for pointing that out.
I just gotta be me. I just gotta be me. Thank you. Thank you very much. I can go all night.
Now, the control room, I'm going to say again, you all have control of the mute button. So I don't want you to be shy just because she's the boss lady. And I know who she is. I mean, I know. But I just want to make sure that you all know that if you happen to hit it while there's a singing, some singing going on, we want to do that. And we'll talk about how that happens a little bit later on. Tonight when we get a musician on here talking.
Look at Ashley. Look at Ashley.
Ashley from Dallas. She has the smiling face and the microphone. Please do not encourage that. I want to thank our brother Askia Muhammad from Philadelphia. He's on the line with us. And Brother Desmond reminds us that we should brace ourselves because I'm her husband and she may break out extemporaneously. And what cookie? Why? Charlene to my sister sang. See, don't
well, if I must.
Yeah. We want to welcome from Lake Charles, Louisiana, and from San Francisco, California, our dear sister who will be a guest on this program in the very near future, Sister Javon Muhammad.
Yay!
Right. Good to see you, Jay. Always love you and Fitz and the family forever. So we're very, very glad. Hey, there's Camilla Muhammad Harris from Newark, New Jersey. Hey, Camilla, how are you? And so, that's my daughter. I can say hi.
Right.
But we want to welcome everybody to gather around. In the comment sections, if you have a recollection of Brother, share it.
Yes.
Put it in the chat. We'll be going over them in the second half of the show. At the bottom of the hour, we have a very, very good announcement for you about how this program works and how we move. Then we'll go up to the top of the hour, and you may want to bring your notepad because let me tell you, the brother you're about to hear is going to school you on music and art and science and life. He may even give you some bean soup tips. But that's our brother coming on the second half of the program. We certainly want to welcome from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, an institution in the Nation of Islam, one of the great builders of the nation under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad from his base in New England. He's with us tonight from his home now in Fort Lauderdale. The great Minister Thomas Jihad is with us tonight. Welcome, Minister Thomas Jihad. And so the word must be spreading. Yes. Sister Mariam, glad to see you back. I want you to know that we have something to do. And that's something that we have to do is to continue the legacy of our brother. We have to do again what he has already done. I speak of him in the present tense because for me, he's not gone.
That's right.
Any way other than the physical. But his powerful thought and energy and life and example, it endures.
Beautiful.
And we're very, very glad that it does.
Yes.
Is there anything you wanted to add before we go to break at the bottom and come back with our guest in the second half of the program?
Well, I could sing about it, but there's a little bit of hating going on. No, I just want to thank everybody again for joining in to the podcast today. I want you to stick around. We've got a lot more to the show tonight, and we want you to put in the chats how Brother Askia has affected your life. So we're going to discuss that in the second half of the hour.
All right. We'll be back after this short word.
Peace, y'all. I was watching
Nothing But the Truth.
In fact, I've seen all of the episodes of
Nothing But the Truth.
And in all of the episodes so far, I've noticed Brother Jamil gets to a point where he says, we don't be preaching on this show. He don't sound like that. I sound like that, but that's what I hear. He says, we're not going to preach on this show, and proceeds to make the point that he's making. And it's so beautiful and lovely and hilarious. Check this out.
To make the difference.
That's right.
Whatever it is that God has in you to become that. No, we won't be over here preaching. We won't be over here on the soapbox. We won't be up. Your camera's open, honey. I watched Jesus do music.
Yeah.
I watched him do love. I watched him do healing. I watched him do resuscitation. Now, I'm not, we don't be preaching on nothing but the truth, but I got to tell you what I saw.
Bear witness.
And you do know that God has worked in him as surely as he worked in any of those ancients of old. Now, I'm not going to preach tonight because that's not what we do here, but I have to tell you, I'm a witness. I can have a table set before us in the presence of our enemy.
Yes,
and
sir.
it's because of the science that my brother Sean is talking about. You know, I don't preach on nothing but the truth. I don't be doing no preaching. I'm just saying that you're not. What'd you say, teacher?
Yeah. Welcome back.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. I love you, Tish. Love you too, Dave C. And Mystery Man, we love you too. Thank you all. But it gives me a great honor, and it's my pleasure now to introduce to you my friend, as I promised you I would. He is an institution in the artistic community of music. He has a specialty in a genre called jazz, but he's not limited to jazz. His releases have included such marvelous entries into the marketplace as Night of Majesty and Shadows of the Mahdi. And like I said, his latest one is Night of Majesty. He's a guitar legend. He comes to us tonight without any need for great introduction. He's our musical director on Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. And that's him you hear playing that distinctive tune that opens and closes our show. And the title of that song is called the End of the Beginning. But since the notes go bink-a-ding-a-ding, we call it Nothing But the Truth. So we just call it that. But he's our brother. And I want to make sure that this is a great reception for him. Join me in welcoming the music director of Nothing But the Truth, Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha, our brother from the bustling metropolis of Bloomington, Illinois, Brother Gary Muhammad. Brother Gary, come on in the studio. Come on in the room, dear brother. How are you tonight, sir? Oh, wait a minute. He might be muted. He might be muted, brother. You might be muted. You might be muted.
I didn't do it.
No, I promise.
All right.
That was me.
That was you. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Well, welcome, my dear brother. How are you this evening?
I am fine by God's permission. I was trying to figure out who you were introducing, though.
No, brother, you impacted.
I know who that person is. To put on
You
that.
There's a lot of really great ways, because your talent, you share it with everyone. And I've seen you at the festivals and concert halls, and you've done collaborations with orchestras and bands, and you've taught young people music. But here you are on our air tonight, and we're happy to have you. I can't tell you how important your music is to us. Literally, we burn through your CDs at our house. We burn through them. Remember how records used to be? You could play them all the time until they start getting scratchy, right? And then Martha Vandellas didn't sound like Martha Vandellas no more. It sounded like Lou Rawls.
Yes, sir.
Right. Well, tonight, dear brother, we are grateful that you're here. We're wearing your CDs out, but tell us, how have you been? What you've been up to? What are you creating these days?
Thank you, sir. First of all, just may I please say that it's an honor and a privilege to be on your show. And Sister Tisha, all praises to Allah that you are united with our brother, and you all have found love with one another, and it's a beautiful thing. So I'm wishing you all the best in your marriage, and may Allah bless everything that you do.
Thank you. Yes.
It's a wonderful start with this beautiful program. But it's my privilege and my honor to be here. Happy Savior's Day, by the way.
Savior's Day to you.
Right. Well, I'm always working on something musically speaking, but oftentimes it's really just formulating in your head before it reaches or finds its way to any type of recording. And that's where a lot of it is right now. It's still formulating in my head. I've done 3 CDs in the past 4 years. So I am, not in a hurry necessarily to get another one going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right.
Doing a CD during a pandemic is rather difficult because you can't. It's hard to find time in the studio and schedule things. Not most things may fall through just because of the pandemic, and so that did negate a lot of that. But I'm here to talk with you about Brother Askia, and this is not really about me, but I am honored to be here.
There's a story that I remember you telling me about meeting Brother Askia at Savior's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell us a little bit more about what happened that day, what was going on, and what he did?
Yes, sir. Well, I was so fired up. I was so proud of the fact that, I got my first, pretty much my first credible CD.
Mm-hmm.
I used to make other music, but it never was put online or anything like that. It was just music that I did just for my own amusement. But this was my first really authentic CD, and I was excited. So Savior's Day 2018 in Chicago, I placed a bunch of CDs in my bag, made sure I brought them to Chicago because I wanted the believers to be the first ones to experience the music. This one was called Fullness of Time. And I put them in my backpack and I walked the halls of the Host Hotel that year. I think it might have been the Sheraton, not the Sheraton, but at any rate, the first person I actually sold a CD to was Brother Askia.
Wow.
It was just ironic. I don't know how that happened. It was Allah, but he came to my room and bought a CD. Matter of fact, I think he bought 2. But then I had no idea he was going to play it on his radio show.
Wow.
I was informed later that he was actually playing my music. Brother Jamil, I think he told me. So, I was like,
what I tried to do, brother, because he still plays your music on the show. I mean, he did your music on the show. And I would call you up and say, Brother Gary, because when the switchboard lights up after a particular selection is played, we know that the audience likes it, right? And Brother Gary, like many other great musicians, he's like, okay, I'm going to sell them, but how do people want it now when they hear it?
Yeah.
Like tonight, when you all go and listen to the Night of Majesty album, and when you go and listen to Shadows of the Mahdi,
yeah,
and when you listen to Fullness of Time, you're going to want to buy 3 CDs at one time, convert them to whatever listing format you have now, MP3, MP4, whatever WAV files, whatever they are, SoundCloud. Yeah. You want to make sure that you have that music with you because it's going to be an essential part of your life.
Right.
And so as we see the comments coming in, Brother William from Oakland says, I miss Brother Askia. We have another story from Brother William about the greatness of Brother Askia and his encouragement for great professional accomplishment coming up later. But Brother Gary, tell me now, when you're creating the music, you said that it goes in your head first, and then it comes out as an idea. I've been blessed to hear some of the raw footage from the studio of your albums as they were being created. And I hear you leading the band and giving chord change directions and solo instructions and how many bars. Okay, you take so and so many bars of that. Okay, and I've heard you do that. How does that all come together in your mind to be able to do everything?
First of all, I didn't mean to send you those, but that was an accident. that took some of the mystique out of how we do this. You know what I'm saying? But that's all. At any rate, Yes, sir. I mean, I have a formula
Mhm.
in my head, and when I go in the studio, believe it or not, it's myself and a drummer.
Mm.
So I'm laying all these guitar patterns down, and the drummer, he's very talented, young brother named AJ Shinnery.
Mhm.
He can anticipate, where I'm going with it. Oftentimes, he's that talented. He grew up in the church playing drums in the church, but he is very accomplished
Mhm.
young brother. He looks like he's about 17 years old, but he sounds like a seasoned veteran. Put it
Mm-hmm.
like that, on the drums. But yes, we do a preparation for the studio. I bring him to the barber shop, and then I do most of the talking there. I try not to talk too much in the studio, brother.
Yeah, yeah.
Neil.
Uh-huh. Well, no, that's beautiful. I mean, but I love what I heard. Wait a minute, I got a message here. It says, Brother Gary, if you're looking for a vocalist, call Sister T.
Oh, I was gonna ask afterwards. Would you like me to do a little Whitney?
No, I don't want you to do that, honey. Now we on the program. People got to take
Yes,
us serious.
but you
Brother
must
Gary
have.
will talk.
Okay, Brother Gary, I'm back to that. I'm back to where we were going before we got this.
May I say something else about brother Askia?
Yes.
Okay. When you were opening up with your introduction, I thought about the fact that uh, most of the images that many of us in the Nation of Islam have etched in our, in our consciousness about the overall look of the nation, the overall picture of the history that's been woven together. I would
Mhm.
say we've seen it for the most part through his lens and his eyes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And that's
So,
very true because he
so
was able to cover every period in the nation's growth and development
Yeah.
from 1968 to the present.
yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. I mean, that is that's awesome to know, and that's legendary. He
Right.
is a legend, you know.
There's no doubt
He's
about it. There's
man,
no doubt about it.
very very mild mannered, soft spoken brother, but powerful in what he brings to the table.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'll tell you, I've been places with Brother Askia where they almost part the waters.
Wow.
Um, he, in his years as a White House correspondent for the Final Call, he had the full credentials to go in and ask the questions, the hard questions, in the
Uh-huh.
presidential press conferences. He would do that.
Yes, sir.
And I remember walking down the Capitol Hill with him and entering the Capitol building. Senators, representatives, staffers, they knew
Mm.
him and they deferred to him. Not because they always agreed with him, but because he was such a principled and integrity filled journalist. And I think that's what you may be speaking to, Brother Gary, because it was a powerful, powerful thing to see. Powerful.
Yes. Yes, sir. Well,
Mhm.
I was watching an interview by Brother Askia, and he said that uh, he would call himself a journalist, but he would want to be compensated for that
Yes,
if he
yes.
hired on, at a news agency. He would want to be compensated for that. But he also called himself a DJ,
Mhm.
and for that, he said he would do that. He would volunteer to do that type of work.
I saw him come alive every Tuesday morning from 5 to 8 a.m. on WPFW 89.3 FM in Washington and available by the internet all over the world. I saw him come alive every
Yes,
Tuesday morning. The spark would come in his eyes, and he'd be digging through the crates, pulling out tunes, and he would put them on the turntable, and you would not know how in the world he knew this or that or what was connected to this fabulous musical education. And I want to say how much of an inspiration he was and is to me as a communicator, as a broadcaster, and as someone who as this program and then what I do in radio. And I mean, all of that matters to me, but it matters to me in a way that's much more exciting and beneficial because I came up under the tutelage of Brother Askia Muhammad. I see in the comment section, Brother William is saying that Brother Askia was truly an inspiration to all Black journalists. And Brother William, get ready to tell the story because you know you're going to have to be an actual guest on this program as well. And he reminds us that Brother Earl, the legendary Brother Earl C. Muhammad from Philadelphia, put a camera in his hand, and Brother Askia inspired him to go to journalism school. Again,
beautiful
power of examples.
Absolutely.
Before we get to our announcements at 50 minutes past the hour, Brother Gary, we have a couple of minutes to ask this question. How do you mentor young people who want to become musicians? What do you say to them about how to not only produce the music, but how to promote the music that they produced?
I would first of all encourage them to work hard, to practice. If you're not putting in some time each day on your instrument or your craft, then are you truly dedicated? I mean, you have to be dedicated. You have to put in that time. You know, the best example I could give anyone is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because here's a man who put his instrument down for how many years did he say?
42 years.
42 years. He comes back and masters not the Beethoven Symphony Suite. Well, he did Mozart as well, I believe. But
it was the Mendelssohn violin concerto. Yes,
absolutely. So discipline. You know, it takes a lot of discipline. You know, I encourage young people. Many of them that I run into want to rap. You know, and they really are not inclined to instruments as much as they once were. A lot of music programs in the schools are being eradicated.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So yeah, that's a problem. But I think as more people see the power of the internet and the power of social media, and they see videos of young people, you know, mastering and blazing through, you know, their instruments and everything, it gives them the idea that I think I want to do something like that. But hard work, discipline, and you know, confidence in oneself, you know, and then all the business aspect of it, because I know many artists who are excellent artists, but if you don't know the business side of it, then unfortunately people may never ever hear your music. And then there are people who know the business side and they may not have all the gifts, but they get their music out there and they make money. You know, that's just how it goes.
Yeah, some of it is really more product than music, but that's just my opinion. I'm not gonna, you know,
right.
we don't preach on this show. It's one thing we don't do is preach, and we don't. But I want to let you know. Your camera's open, hon. People can see you. Yeah, you can see. So I want to let you all know that as we prepare to go to break, Sister Tisha's preparing a couple of announcements for us, a little bit of last hour housekeeping. And Brother Gary, we want to come back to you right after that because I know you have some closing comments that you got.
One last thing to say about Askia. Do I have just a second?
You do, but we're going to ask you to do some more after the break. But go right ahead.
No, I was going to say through his show, he introduced me to someone. I thought I was up on everybody. He played some Carmen Lundy one morning.
Yes.
And that I'm like, where have I been? How come I have not known about this sister? She is very accomplished, long career, and I haven't ever heard any of her music. So his show was very valuable resource in finding new artists, actually.
And we'll put that. Thank you, Brother Gary. We're going to put that in the comments, some of those artists. And if we could put Brother Gary's album titles in there, and we'll show the covers again, but you can get them. Just go contact with us on Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. We'll put you in touch with the folks who can get you your CD post haste from Brother Gary. Before we go to Sister Tisha, we want to remind you, Brother Mark A. Muhammad, our brother from Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome, dear brother. He's on the program, and he says, "May Allah be pleased with Brother Askia. When I would see him, I lost the comment. There was something else. I'm going to come back to it." Brother Thomas Jihad says, "The entire black world owe this brother, Askia Muhammad, a tremendous debt of gratitude." You ask why? Because it was not Reverend Wright they wanted to tie to Barack Obama. It was the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, which would have sunk his ship.
That's right.
Because of the hatred for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Our beloved brother Askia was the owner of that photo, and the Clinton people would have paid thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars for it to use against Obama.
Yes.
Brother Askia sat on that photo for 12 years until Barack Obama was out of office. That's the integrity of the man we salute here tonight. We'll be back with more with Brother Gary Muhammad and a wrap up with our guest after these messages from Sister Tisha. Go right ahead.
Oh, wow. I'm so excited. I'm loving this show. I just wanted to come back real quick and thank everybody for tuning in again. Thank you all for bringing your beautiful energy to the show, taking the time out to share this beautiful space with us, this platform that we're growing, right? Remember, this is a safe place for all of us to stretch out and show how Allah has blessed us with all the talents and everything that we have, and just support each other, right? So if there are some topics that you want to discuss that we haven't touched on yet, we need to see those in the comments. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, we need to see that in the comments, and then we'll go from there. But again, this platform that Jamil and I are building is for all of us, right? And we thank you all for showing up. I want to remind you how you can help us grow the platform. You can do something as simple as going over to YouTube, finding our channel, Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha, hitting that subscribe button. We want you to like, share, and subscribe, and then go over to Facebook as well and do the same. Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. Like, share, and subscribe. We do have a new Instagram page also. I just set it up. I'll tell you next week how to find that. Just look for Nothing But the Truth. I don't know, with some underscores, and old people stay on Facebook. So anyway, but we do have Instagram, so we'll have that for you. And then remember, we were taking donations, love donations for our broadcaster. I'm happy to announce that we did receive enough for the roadcaster, and we'll be purchasing that soon. All right. And then we'll be able to take this platform to the next level, and I can sing and have background music with it. It's going to be nice. But if you'd like to continue to make donations towards our efforts to bring this wonderful podcast to you, we are still taking love donations at $BroWorks. That's $BROWORKS. That's the Cash App. And any love donation will be greatly appreciated and put to a good use on this platform. All right. Back to you, Milliwap.
Ain't nobody gonna give to have that happen to their ears, honey. They're just not gonna do it. Let's bring Brother Gary back into the room so that Sister Tisha can go ahead and clear her throat. We want to make sure.
Let me clear my throat. I love that song. Have mercy, babe. I hope you. Where's my mama?
Okay, brother, if you could. Okay, hon, we're gonna talk more, and we're gonna play all your Ike and Tina Turner records tonight. We're gonna have a good time. Okay, so just we'll do that. But I want to go back to my guest, to my brother, our guest tonight, Brother Gary Muhammad. We have a few more minutes before we go over to the elevated places with Dr. Ava Muhammad on Blog Talk Radio. And we invite everybody to come with us and let them know that you came from Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. But Brother Gary, what would be your parting words about artists and musicians and intellectuals in general? You are the people, Brother William, cut it out. You are the people who actually make the wheels of inspiration turn in Black America. What's that process like for the rest of us who may not know that or witnesses to it? What is that like?
Well, I believe music has always been a barometer to measure where we are in society and where we are in the struggle. Curtis Mayfield, Marvin Gaye,
Mhm.
Coltrane, Miles Davis, all of those who would tie spirituality possibly to, or some social type of message to the music. And I think that if you didn't know what was going on through watching television, you would know by listening to the music what was happening in society. And a lot of the inspiration came from the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, obviously.
Mhm.
And the minister, I heard one brother Demetric. I do believe Brother Demetric made the case that hip hop, today's hip hop, is actually the child of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So I think that we have to look at that. And a lot of people may agree with it or not. They can take it or let it alone. But all of the rap artists were putting his message in their music in the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Let's face it.
and there it is.
And
And
it just
there it is.
more.
You've had the last word, Brother Gary.
My music is instrumental, but I'm sorry.
No. You've had the last word on tonight's program, and I'm telling you, there's much more to say.
Oh,
You know what I'm going to ask him, because as the music director, he likes to work behind the scenes, but you know we got to bring him back out onto the show again. So, brother, come on, Brother Gary, you have to do that for us, and we want to make sure that everybody sees us asking this question, so that you all know that Brother Gary's going to come back to the program. All right, and I want to thank you all.
It would be my honor.
Thank you, my dear brother, and we'll be glad to have you. Again, our guest tonight, Brother Gary Muhammad, the great guitarist, and his new album is called Night of Majesty. Show that cover one more time. There it is. Night of Majesty by Gary Muhammad. Get it, have it mailed to you, find out how you can groove to it while you do everything in your day. You will be glad that you did.
Yep.
Yours and Sisters is on the way.
The good one.
All right, thank you, sir. We wanted to be the first to order it, and thank you, brother, for getting it off to us right away. Tisha, any last words before we prepare to go?
Nope. Just remember, everybody, once the show ends, go ahead and follow us over to Blog Talk Radio and join us, where we will be guests on Dr. Ava's show.
All right.
Elevated Places.
Thank you so much, my dear beloved Tisha, for your spoken comments tonight, not your sung, but your spoken comments. And we love you very much, and I want to invite everybody, be back here next Thursday, God willing, and the creek don't rise.
Creek don't rise.
Be back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. for another edition of Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil
and Sister Tisha.
We out. Assalamu alaikum, everybody.